Hello there, my creative collective. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Oh my God, this is for my creatives. Because I was thinking of Waiting for Godot. I thought that was Ibsen, but that's Samuel Beckett. Ibsen did A Doll's House. Some of y'all, the Who's on First type vibe here. So my creatives, what's this about with you? Ooh, Knight of Pentacles. Some of y'all be mindful of the contracts that you sign. This is, you could get a recording contract that has absolute shit that keeps you stuck or stagnant. Some of you all could get a work opportunity that really sort of limits what you do. There's the Page of Wands energy. So this is about the creative control over what you got going on. Some of y'all, this is what you should be paying attention to. Depending upon the area of your creative sort of vibe, especially those of you when it comes to contracts and offers and opportunities with you. So, okay, I like this. Take what's yours, leave what's not. This is a fun creative energy. So, damn my creatives, what are you doing? Crown on this energy, you got the King of Swords. You got the Empress energy. There's the Hangman energy. Oh, there's the Moon vibes. There's like a shakeup of energy here. So, because the Moon vibes there. That feels like my favorite in garage band. Heat wave. Oh, and struck me like an earthquake. So, those of you, what the fuck is this energy with you, my creatives? Hopefully you're finding a lot of inspiration. Some of you be mindful of that sort of a creative energy here. Those of you be mindful of AI energy, bots energy, BOTS, because they're BOUGHTS. I don't know your vibe here. What's this about with you? There's the Five of Pentacles. There's the Eight of Cups. Ooh, if that isn't Waiting for Godot. Lord have mercy. Any of you that's read that play or seen that play? I don't know, it's between Waiting for Godot and Who's on First. So, what the fuck is this when it comes to you? And there's that Five of Wands energy. Why do I feel like Five of Wands is a positive for you? Some of y'all are going to choose to self-publish or self-produce. Or some of y'all could be thinking about that. What is the best sort of vibe with this? Whatever your discipline is, find out what the smart sort of vibes are with that. Remember, you can get a contract and it basically keeps you stuck or stagnant. So, you know, whether that's a recording contract, a modeling contract, or anything along that lines. So make sure if you don't understand it, you educate yourself. This kind of feels like Iggy Azalea vibes. So those of you that liked Iggy Azalea's first album, I think she actually had a song where she talked on that. So, damn my creatives. Some of y'all creating your own would be the best route to go. So, creating your own, producing your own, could be the smarter alternative. Some of y'all, those contracts sound nice, or those contracts could look good, but there's always some sort of catch energy with that Page of Wands energy. So, what the fuck is this Five of Wands when it comes to you? I don't know, that's interesting. I was thinking Waiting for Godot. I thought that was Ibsen, but he did the Dollhouse. So it's Waiting for Godot? Or if you have your favorite Ibsen play, or the Who's on First. So what is this Five of Wands energy when it comes to my creatives? Lord, when it comes to my creatives. Oh, there's the World vibe. Ah, the Ace of Cups. Someone sees you as like a competition here. So some of you do be mindful of the sort of competitive vibe on something. Because that feels like the Grammys. So some of y'all could be switching it up, changing it up. Y'all remember when Beyonce come out with her country album? Because she never could get, what is it, Song of the Year or Album of the Year? And so she just kind of mocked her favorite musician. Interesting business vibes here. And there's that Knight of Swords energy. Things changing. You don't need to do much there, that Temperance Angel energy. Some of y'all are going to choose to self-produce or self-publish. Some of y'all could be thinking of a logo or a name right now. You got to love what you do and let that energy kind of show here. It's not lack of opportunities, but some of you be mindful of the contracts. Damn, my creatives. There's the World energy. There's the Queen of Swords. There's the Tower energy. Some of y'all like Trailblazer energies. So something's going to take a while with you because you are definitely very unique. So whatever your discipline is, hopefully you're learning, you're growing, you're understanding something. So now's not the time to half-ass anything. Some of y'all are really going to consider self-producing or self-publishing. So that way you kind of stay out of some of that stuck stagnant energy. But with that comes its own sort of vibes. Those of you, if you're looking to bring on a partner or work with somebody, be mindful of how those it's always about if you bring someone else on, what's the dynamic of that? The who's on first work because of the sort of dynamics with that. Interesting. Who's on first and Waiting for Godot were both based on two very specific characters and the character dynamics between it. So some of you, if you're dealing with relationships or partnerships, this is going to be very interesting. Some of you are going to find the right match for you, the right opportunity for you, but it's going to take you a while to sort of get that comfortableness energy here. So if this is a working relationship or partnership, or some of you who you choose to work with, the dynamics in that relationship or partnership, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get in sync with something. Oh, damn. Is there like a collaboration energy here with you? Or I don't feel like it's so much a collaboration as much as just a good sort of like dynamic here. Now, some of you, this could be finding a good manager. This could be you finding a good sort of partner to work with. Someone that understands the timing when it comes to you or understands the vibes when it comes to you. Some of you choosing to self-promote, self-produce. So some of y'all could be working or talking it through somebody that's done that. There are plenty of people that discuss like the pros and cons of kind of doing your own thing. And a lot of you now, the sort of the energy around that has switched up so much. Musicians, it's like an album now is just one fucking song. So if you get one song that like does really good, you could get a Grammy off of it. Whereas before it was based on far much more than that. So the simplicity of something or how things have changed creates a different dynamic when it comes to the work that you do. Whatever it is, talk it through with someone who's decided to kind of do their own thing or who kind of enlightens you to a lot of this. Those of you, Prince was ahead of his time talking about the music industry. That's why he started like producing his own. So that way he didn't have to deal with everybody else sort of factoring in on that. I'm actually surprised we haven't heard any new Prince music. So my creatives, right? Some of you are far more ahead of your sort of vibe when it comes to something, and that makes a difference here. Oh my, oh my. Waiting for Godot, who's on first, or Ibsen? Ibsen is the dollhouse. I don't quite remember what the dollhouse is about. Some of y'all, the Glass Menagerie? Take what's yours, leave what's not. Anything else on this? Some of you, contracts aren't really a good thing. You could get a contract and it really be shit. Boss ass moves here. Boss ass moves here. Beautiful Aries energy. the Fool, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Three of Wands, to the Queen of Cups, to the Knight of Cups, to the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, to the Ace of Pentacles. Some of y'all could have, there could be like too many chefs in the kitchen on something too. So some of y'all could be condensing down to one or two instead of having like a whole lot of energy in the room. Some of y'all be mindful that a situation doesn't kind of fall apart because someone's relationship, their emotional relationship or partnership, boyfriend, girlfriend, kind of fucks up the dynamics of the group. Three of Wands, the Ace of Cups there with the Knight of Cups. The Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Swords there to the Ace of Pentacles. So, damn. Those of you with a group dynamic could find yourself sort of having to navigate someone's partner. Oh, Lord have mercy. Who's the Yoko Ono in your vibe? Damn. Don't let it be messy. King of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, the Star vibe. Some of you could be taking it back old school, and that makes a difference with you. So whatever your inspiration is, every time I see this Aquarius, this reminds me of those paintings from the 60s. So some of y'all could be focusing on that. Some of y'all, that could be making a comeback. Haven't spent too much time in the modern art world to see if this type of portraiture is coming back. Those of you that remember the portraits from the 60s, those the oversized eyes. Some of you, it's kind of like back to that old school energy, which for a lot of people really isn't what the vibe is anymore. Musicians, right? Everyone's ran through auto-tune. Some of it's like taking the humanity out of the artwork, so it becomes more sort of regimented. Some of y'all be mindful of the AI energy as well. Some of y'all definitely be mindful of the bots views. BOTS because they're BOUGHTS. I like some of y'all this old school energy here. Some of y'all could definitely be downsizing or working with one person or choosing to work with one person, and that's a great dynamic there. Because that's like waiting for Godot or Who's on First. Ibsen's a dollhouse. I feel like there was a whole cast when it comes to that. But the Who's on First and the Waiting for Godot was just two people working off each other in those two situations, right? Some of y'all could be dealing with a group dynamic, someone's partner, romantic partner. Could be creating a little bit of stagnation when it comes to something. That may be why some of you choose to kind of go work for somebody else or work with something else or with somebody else instead of staying in this messy energy. Some of you, this could also be a... don't allow a romantic relationship or partnership into the group dynamic that you got going on. That could be your energy. So some of y'all, like, no one else in the studio other than the main people who need to be there. You don't need somebody else's partner's opinion on something. You got a whole slew of music here, so what's up with that? You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Okay. Here we got foreigner vibes. I want to know what love is. Here you got the Temptations. It was just my imagination. Here you got Carole King. You just call out my name. Here you got Otis Redding energy. Try a little tenderness. Some of you all going back to the basics of something. I do think it's interesting that the music from like the 40s, 50s, 60s was all like under like 3 minutes. And then you got to the late 60s, 70s, 80s where you'd have a 7-minute song or a 5-minute song. You'd have breaks between the verses so you could have a guitar solo or a saxophone solo. But now it's gone back to basically a three-minute song. Maybe a little over 3 minutes. So a lot of that energy is kind of coming back. Some of you, the artwork from the 60s, that could be making a comeback. I forget the artist. But you all know, if that brings you the recollection of those 60s portraits. Some of y'all, that could be the next thing to come back. So if you get the opportunity, that's like the paintings that you'd see in the hotels or mass-produced. Probably had the little plastic frame around it that was gilt to make it look like it was older than what it was. It's an interesting aesthetic, so some of y'all, that could be coming back around. There's the Ten of Pentacles. Good working relationships or partnerships. Some of you are going to choose to do your own thing. If you watch any TED Talks or anything like that, those of you, whatever your sort of discipline is, if you pay attention to people that sort of speak on that and how to kind of do your own thing, now might be a good time. Some of you are going to choose to do your own. You could self-publish, self-promote, or self-produce. But that's also going to be like self-promotion when it comes to you. Because some of you, you could get that contract, but it might not be the best. Just because you get a record deal doesn't mean it's going to be like the answer that you're looking for. Because then you got the obligations that come to it as well. So I'm going to be mindful of those bots energies, BOTS and BOUGHTS energies. I know the New York Times, they kind of put a marker on excessive book sales so that someone can't kind of inflate the sales of something. So they pay attention to how many people are watching or how many people are buying. Some of y'all need to old school it here. So go back to the basics of something. That's interesting, waiting for Godot. And who's on first? So some of you could be finding the perfect sort of partner, the perfect sort of yin to your yang, or the perfect Abbott to your Costello. So, damn. Waiting for Godot. I thought that was Ibsen, but that's Samuel Beckett. Ibsen did the Dollhouse. I think that's like a cast energy. So, what are you doing? Some of you don't muck up a relationship or partnership by trying to put a romance on it. Or some of y'all could be dealing with the situation where someone's sort of partner wants to kind of come in and switch the whole fucking dynamic up. That does feel like the Beatles energy, or any group where someone's spouse or partner come in and basically fucked up the group energy. So some of y'all could be holding true to that sort of rule of only the necessary people during the process. Some of you don't turn a relationship or partnership into a romantic thing, especially if it's a good working relationship or partnership. So some of you could get the opportunity where you're working opposite of somebody and you kind of find that vibe together, and this could be something that you're doing. Everything old is new again. Those of you, when it comes to art, if you get the chance to pick up some of those like 60s artworks, I forget who the artist was that did like the oversized eyes, or any of you, any sort of art that has that this definitely feels like 60s vibes. I think it was 60s. I think it was more 60s than 50s. So look to the 60s for inspiration. This is good 10 of Pentacles energy, but some of y'all are going to have to really pay attention to something. Otis Redding, Foreigner, Carole King, and The Temptations. Otis Redding. Is this like 50s, 60s, 70s vibes? 60s, 70s, 80s? I think Foreigner came out when... I think that was the late 80s. What's over the 10 of Pentacles? Tell me that 60s artwork. Or something 60s themed. I forget the artist who did that. But those of you that know. Some of you, any of the movies from the 60s? Where you get that energy of that artwork. And it's in the fancy looking frames, but they're like plastic. But they're made to look like a Chagall. Oh, Leo vibes. So retrograde energy there. Bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. Some of y'all a good working relationship or partnership. It might not always be romantic. So the Leo vibes, the 5 of Swords, the Judgment energy there at the 5. Lord have mercy. Some of y'all are dealing with someone that really... So some of you, a group dynamic could fall apart because someone's partner, romantic partner, tries to overwhelm or create way too much static with the situation. So some of y'all could be choosing to go off and work with someone else. So you don't have that messy sort of vibe with this. This is Leo season. So some of y'all, this could have been what you're focusing on now. Someone is just way too much. So some of y'all be mindful of that energy. Some of y'all could just be dealing with the Leo who's messy. 10 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, 3 of Cups, Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, 10 of Wands. Ooh. Don't mix your work life here and your professional life. So, I mean, for some of you, choose a partner that you're not attracted to. So that way, that sort of energy isn't even part of the problem. Some of y'all a good working relationship or partnership that isn't going to have shit to do with anything romantic. But it could be a really good, close relationship or partnership where you both benefit in a very positive way from it. Ooh, look at what you got. I love this from my creators. You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Oh my God, the songwriting on this is absolutely amazing. If you haven't listened to this song, listen to this song again. I mean, you have that beautiful intro going into it, and then it sort of switches the fuck up, and you got this fun sort of vibe. I do believe this was late 60s. The Rolling Stones. Well, there's a group dynamic that's been around for a while. So, damn my creatives. Some of y'all self-promoting, self-producing. Some of y'all creating your own. So if this is something that you're interested in, looking into that, because things have changed on that. Some of y'all, you might get a contract and think that that's a great opportunity. But there are plenty of people who tell you they got a recording contract that basically went nowhere. And then you got all the sort of stipulations that come with that. So that way you don't get yourself sort of stuck or stagnant dealing with one sort of partner. Some of y'all, if you're choosing a partner, don't choose somebody that you even find remotely attractive. So that way you don't mess up that energy. You could have a really good working relationship or partnership with somebody where you're both basically blessed because of that union, but it doesn't have to be romantically attached. Some of y'all don't let that sort of dynamic switch up whatever group dynamic you got going on. So, you know, some of y'all, no partners whenever you're doing this work. So that way you know, no spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, any sort of secondary vibes on that. Only the necessary people making the decisions on something. Oh, you can't always get what you want. Oh, listen to that song to my creatives, because that has it all. Very good arrangement on that and very good producing on that. So that's that yin-yang energy. So take what's yours, leave what's not. Something about the 60s vibe. This came up in Aquarius's reading. I forget the artist who did a lot of that. Any of you that watch those movies or those shows from the 60s and you've seen the portraits on the wall that were in this style, and usually they had like the fancy looking frame, but it was all molded plastic. But damn, look to the 60s for inspiration there. Whatever your discipline is, waiting for Godot, who's on first, and Ibsen's The Dollhouse. I'm gonna have to relook up that because I don't remember that. The Dollhouse, I'm thinking like the Glass Menagerie, but that's not it. So good luck, God bless. Take what's yours, leave the rest. Some of y'all choose that partner, but choose somebody you're not interested in on a emotional level. So that's a choice that you make. So some of y'all, that could be a consideration. Just because someone looks good, that might not mean they're the perfect working partner for you. Because some of y'all can find that 10 of Cups with someone you're just really good friends with or you work very well with. So that's a connection that's going to be worth far more than some romantic connection. Some of y'all don't let someone else's sort of person be the deciding factor with the group dynamic. So some of y'all could be reiterating that when it comes to who's part of the creative process and how that energy goes. Some of y'all, you're dealing with the Leo energy, or some of y'all, this energy could have surfaced during this past Leo season or this retrograde vibes. I want to say like Yoko Ono, but some of y'all, I think the dynamics of the Beatles was kind of going anyway. So take what's yours and leave what's not here. I'll post a link to this song if you haven't heard it in a while. It is absolutely fucking brilliant. Every aspect of it. The writing of it, the arrangement of it, and especially how it was mixed down and produced. So take what's yours, leave what's not. This is definitely for my creatives out there. Some of y'all, the perfect partnership doesn't need to be romantic, so be mindful of that. Get someone you have a good repertoire with, you have good banter with, and it's a far more fulfilling relationship or partnership than some of y'all's romantic life. And 60s art. Peace, love, and light. Good luck. God bless. Take what's yours and leave the rest.